here in 2022. Are they still winners? We know that there's been a big pullback in a lot of those pandemic winners. I picked out 5 that are reporting earnings this week so we could take a closer look and see, what's going on there. Will they bottom soon? Is this a buying opportunity? Let's take a look at these earnings charts. So the first stock I'm leading off with is PayPal. PYPL is the ticker. It was a darling of the street during the pandemic. It only had that one miss right when the pandemic hit originally, and now it has miss number 2 here in 2022 as the shares continue to sink and have basically done, as you can see on this chart, just about a round trip from its pandemic lows. So I've been watching a lot of these charts that are round tripping. PayPal is one of those. So year to date, they're now down about 39%, but off those highs even further. PE has now come way down. So it's starting to get interesting here from a valuation perspective. PE now 18.6. That's among the lowest I can remember in a number of years here. So this is going to be an interesting one to watch. When will it bottom? What will happen this earnings report? Can it get a bounce off of this earnings report? I don't know. Things are pretty negative, but we will see. Then we're going to switch it over to ServiceNow. This has been a big winner for several years, and you can see why on this chart. I mean, it's a gorgeous chart. It hasn't missed in 5 years. It's got everything going for it, but valuation is extremely stretched here. And as we know, any of these high valuation stocks have been feeling some pain here in 2022. So year to date, down about 28%, but it's not trading all that much cheaper, still at 64 times. Will it have to slide further to appease those that believe the valuations should be coming back down to earth? I don't know, but they have this great track record, so I'm not expecting a miss here, but who knows, with everything going on in the economy right now, anything can happen. But ServiceNow, great track record, and we will see this quarter. Then we're going to switch it over to Pinterest. I've talked about them before on these Earnings All Stars videos. They have a pretty good track record of beating, as you can see, just 2 misses, including one right when the pandemic hit. That's acceptable, right? And then they've been beating big because they have been a pandemic winner. As we were on lockdown around the world, we've been sitting there on our phones. Pinterest was one place we went to get content, but those daily active users have been sliding a bit here. And so the shares are down big too, now down 45% year to date. Hasn't quite round tripped like PayPal has back to those 2020 lows, but I am kind of looking for it to maybe get back there. Now, I used to own this in the value investor portfolio, but we sold in 2021 because we did have a stop on the stock. So that paid off for us, but we bought at $18. It's trading just below $20 here in 2022. So I'm still keeping it on my watch list. PE is now down to 20, but we don't know if that's going to hold after this earnings report or not. So we'll see what happens to those earnings estimates and whether or not they're revised, either up or down. And this is definitely one on the social media side a lot of people will be watching. Then we're going to switch it over to the trading area, Robinhood. Remember them? Ticker HOOD, one of the hot IPOs of 2021, because again, just like with Pinterest, we were all stuck on our phones during the pandemic. We wanted to trade stocks. So why not do it on our phones? So Robinhood saw a lot of new accounts open, but the street is not doing well with companies that have no earnings. So they are negative in earnings, so no PE. And those types of stocks are selling off here in 2022. These shares are down 42% year to date here in 2022. And as you can see, down even more than that off of their IPO high. And they have the 2 misses. So I'm not optimistic on this quarter either. But we will see if maybe a beat here can get this share, this stock to bounce here off of these new lows, but we will see. Then we're going to also wrap it up with another big pandemic winner, Roku, ROKU. You can see the huge surge in 2020. And now it too is looking like it might round trip to those 2020 lows, similar to Pinterest and PayPal here. It's got a great earnings surprise track record. Only that one miss after they went public in 2017, and still coming off a big beat last quarter too, but the street didn't care. Why didn't they care? Because they too don't have a PE. Their earnings are expected to be negative 86 cents here in 2022. The street does not like any companies that do not have some kind of earnings here in 2022. The Fed raising rates. Year to date, these shares are now down 56%, and only time will tell if they're going to bottom here, they're going to retest those COVID lows. So this is something to watch, even though several good things going on with Roku still. Revenue growth expected to be 34% here in 2022. So it's not all about just the negative earnings, but now the street does care about earnings, not just the revenue growth side. So this is one to watch, and all these big pandemic winners all to watch this week. It's funny how we couldn't get enough of all 5 of these stocks during the initial stages of the pandemic. We were willing to pay any price for all of them, and now there's really no price we will pay for all of them. So when will they bottom? I don't know, but I'm watching this group and many others that are like them to see if I can get some deals here. This is the time for value investors, right? If we start to get some value territories with some of these stocks, at least those that actually do have earnings. So this is going to be an interesting week. You don't want to miss a single All Stars video this week and throughout earnings season. Make sure you get all of our videos at Zacks.com/YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at Tracy Reineck on Twitter. And I'll see you again next time with some more earnings charts.